My name is Liliana Rickley and welcome to KTLA at 5. Just a few minutes ago, the DNC has announced that the new location for the Democratic National Convention will be held in LA's Staples Center. DNC has stated the reason behind the relocation is because of the popularity of support they have in LA, and the infrastructure is better capable of holding an event of this magnitude. Moving on to other news, protests are starting to rise in Washington, D.C. following the economic crisis of the coronavirus disease. The protests are about how the United States mistreated the working class and discriminated immigrants across America. The police have arrived to prevent violence against the protesters and the counter-protesters. President Trump has tweeted that the expected Democratic nominee is a communist. President candidate John Lowe has responded stating that universal health care isn't a threat to capitalism.
Music is with us. Wherever we go. We apologize for interrupting normal programming. A local emergency is in progress.
We got some breaking news out of downtown Los Angeles. It is reported that the protesters and counter-protesters have overrun the barrier set between each other and
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Los Angeles Police Department. At 10:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, the protesters and counter-protesters have overran the barrier set between each other and caused a major riot to begin in downtown LA. The Democrat nominee was evacuated from Staples Center and is being taken to a secure location. As of right now, the Los Angeles Police Department is highly requesting you to avoid downtown Los Angeles as it is a highly dangerous situation. Anyone living within 5 miles of Staples Center should lock their doors and shelter in place.
We got some breaking news out of the South Capitol. A major explosion has occurred at the headquarters of the Democratic National Committee. We do not have any details yet on possible casualties or if anybody was even inside the building, but we will get back on the story as we get more details.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the National Guard, the White House, Washington, D.C. Police Department and the FBI. At 1:20 Eastern Daylight Time, a large explosion has occurred at the headquarters of the Democratic National Committee. As of right now, Democrat House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and other Democratic senators are being taken into a secure location. Washington, D.C. police and President Trump are requesting you to avoid the area of the explosion, as it is a highly dangerous situation. Anyone living within 20 miles of any landmark should lock their doors and shelter in place. Do not go outside, as it is possible that another explosion could take place. Washington, D.C. City Council has put a curfew starting tomorrow at 12 a.m. The curfew would start from 11 p.m. and end at 6 a.m., and the National Guard will enforce the curfew. God bless you all and God bless the United States of America.
You know you're mine. Hands on your body, I don't wanna waste no time. Feels like forever, even if forever's tonight. Just lay with me. What?
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Dallas Office of Emergency Management and Fort Worth Office of Emergency Management. At 11:40 Central Standard Time, a riot is currently taking place in the cities of Austin and Houston. While this does not affect the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, the cities of Dallas and Fort Worth have both decided to place a curfew to best prevent a riot from occurring in these cities. The curfew will start tomorrow at 11 p.m. and will run its course until further notice. The curfew will go from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Governor Greg Abbott has declared a state of emergency and will have a press conference in an undisclosed location.
As you can tell, there is a heavy military presence in downtown Houston. The Texas National Guard was mobilized after a socialist rally was planned at City Hall. There is a lot of damage in downtown and will cost the city at least billions of dollars, but they will most likely declare a state of disaster and receive money from the federal government. President Trump hasn't made an official statement but has tweeted that he will support the cities affected by the riots. Houston is not the only city in Texas facing this crisis. Austin is also currently under a state of emergency after a socialist rally was interrupted by opposing mobs.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the White House at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. President Trump has declared a national emergency and will declare martial law in the following states: California, Oklahoma, Florida, New Jersey, New York, Washington, Montana, Utah, Michigan, Georgia, and North Carolina. Martial law in the states mentioned will start immediately and will run its course until further notice. The curfew will go from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. President Trump also enacted the National Emergencies Act, which relieves some of the limits of the president can do in a national crisis.